Today's class is on peppermint essential oil. So this is my second essential oil class. If you haven't watched it yet, there's one on lavender. We're actually going through and talking about the different oils that are in this kit here, the Authentic Essential Oils Kit by Nature Sunshine. I know that text is backwards for you all, but just the information that we're talking about tonight applies just in general to peppermint essential oils. My pages are backwards here. Just so everyone knows, this is for educational use only. This is training on the general use of essential oils. We are not claiming that they treat, cure, nor prevent any disease. We're not allowed to make that claim for natural health products. This is also not a substitute for your doctor's advice. So if you have a medical condition, please consult with your primary care physician about that. So I won't get into this a lot, because if you watch the lavender video, then I tell you why I'm going to choose Nature Sunshine every time. But just to remind you how pure their products are, they can test for 1 drop of pesticide in the amount of volume of 20 Olympic swimming pools. So they're testing in parts per trillion, so we know that they're going to be pure and potent and do what we want them to do. Another reminder is I do not promote essential oils for internal use. Please use them externally. There are very few times that I will suggest that you take them or say that you even can take them internally. We will talk about one of those tonight with peppermint, but just in general, you're going to get the same benefit out of them by just applying them to your skin. They are found in the bloodstream seconds after applying. This is also safer for your liver. So you don't need to take them internally. Other good things to know about oils: store them in a dark container away from light. So if you get a good quality essential oil, it should come in a really dark amber bottle. So just keep that close. They will evaporate. Keep them away from light. We don't want them to get too hot. Keep them away from sensitive parts of the body: eyes, nose, any other openings to the body you can think of. And then if you get oil in a place that you don't want it, remember that oil dilutes oil. So you're going to use, hopefully you have some sort of carrier oil on hand. Otherwise, in a pinch, you can use vegetable, olive, coconut oil, whatever you need to help wash that off. A little bit of soap if that's appropriate for the area that you got it. And don't fall for marketing hype. Grade, therapeutic, medicinal, certified. These are all names that were made up by specific companies for marketing their products. So don't fall for the hype. Another good caution: avoid if you're pregnant or if you have children under 2. You're going to dilute them much more for children if you're going to use them at all. And then I covered in the lavender video some easy ways just that you can use any oil: massage, inhalation, diffusion. Yeah, so peppermint essential oil today. So this specific one is grown in the United States. Its primary active ingredient is menthol, and menthol has mild anesthetic properties, so it's really nice and pain relieving. So peppermint, it's good for healthy sinuses. So if you've got some congestion going on, you can use it to open them up. You can use it for muscle comfort. So any pain that you have, you can apply it, mix it with a carrier oil, apply it directly on there. For good healthy digestion, we'll be making a roller bottle at the end of the class that we'll be giving away to all of you who watch this, and just comment in the next day or two. Whatever you'd like, you can comment on the video. Also, alertness. So peppermint affects our brain, helps wake us up, get us more alert. We can use it, we could diffuse it in a room to freshen the air, or if we need that alertness. So thinking like, if you're studying for a test, you're reading a book, you're trying to stay awake, peppermint oil might be really good for that. It can be good for tension as well. So if you think muscle tension or tension headaches, any sort of tension in the body. So muscles, you're going to apply that directly to the muscle that is tight. Tension headaches, you could apply it on your temples. Just again, if you're close to your face, keep it away from your eyes, but right there on the temples is really good. Just helps wake up the brain. It's very energizing. Can be really soothing after meals. If you've got some gas or some upset stomach, you could put a drop or two in the palm of your hand with a little bit of carrier oil, rub that over your stomach, and then that's going to help with just general digestion as well. This is one of just a few essential oils that are GRAS. GRAS stands for GRAS, and it means generally recognized as safe. So it has been approved by the FDA as a food flavoring. So you could put a drop or two in your water bottle to flavor that, or there's if you wanted to, you're making something that's going to taste like peppermint candies, peppermint cookies, you can use a few drops of it for that. Just remember, a little goes a long way. So some easy ways to use peppermint. It's a really great one to keep on hand if you're traveling, if you're going to be, whether it's a car, a boat, a plane, or even going to an amusement park or a carnival. It can really help with motion sickness. So again, you might just do some inhalation therapy, putting a drop on your hand, warming it up, breathing that in, nice deep breaths. You could put a drop on the back of your neck. You could rub some on your stomach. You could put a drop in your water bottle and sip on that. I've done all of those. I will say, as far as motion sickness goes, that there is a blend that we'll talk about later on down the road. That's a Chinese blend. That was a lifesaver for me in an airport when I was so sick by the time that I got to the airport that I couldn't eat. I really wanted to throw up before I got on the plane. I had an 8-hour flight, and I could actually feel, I was so sensitive to the vibrations, I could feel the planes taking off just while I was sitting in the airport. My husband did not believe me, but yeah, I could feel it. It made me dizzy every time that a plane took off. So there is a Chinese oil blend that's super great for motion sickness. So that's a good one to have in your back pocket, is if your peppermint isn't working for you, I definitely try the Chinese blend. You could take 1 drop of peppermint oil on your tongue as a breath freshener, or just to help you wake up. Again, rubbing it in the palms of your hand for alertness. Thinking if you're having to drive late at night or work a swing shift, stay up later for some reason or another. I'm feeling the need to yawn right now, so I think it's kind of a good time for me to do this with the peppermint oil itself. Just put a drop in the palm of my hand, warming up for a minute. I can already smell it. It's filling up the room. See if I can wake my brain up a little bit. And it's kind of instantaneous. You feel that just really nice mintiness go in, wake you up. And then of course it's going to start loosening up my nose a little bit, so hopefully I don't start sniffing here. For with stress, those of us that are under stress, you can, again, I have a little bit left in the palm of my hand, I can apply that to the back of my neck, and that's going to, if I've got any pain or tension back there, it's going to help loosen that up, just relax everything. And then peppermint's a really great one if you are a sugarholic. So I am. I try to control it, sometimes better than others, but it's a really good one. If you're craving some sugar, try smelling your peppermint first. And then hopefully those sugar cravings will go away. Other ways you can use it to help with digestion, if you put a drop in, in the mornings, a lot of times I have some favorite protein shakes that I do. I'll mix it with an almond or a coconut milk. And I know it's really great company that has a delicious protein shakes if you need a meal replacement for in the morning. But these protein shakes, you can put a drop of peppermint oil in there. So really yummy, whether you're having a vanilla or a chocolate protein shake, just a drop in there helping with digestion. I also, when I'm making my protein shakes in the morning, I open up my enzyme capsules and just put them in there. One less capsule to swallow. And any sort of stomach distress, cramping, bloating, you can apply some directly on there. It's also helpful for some of the other colon disorders. So the roller that we're going to make, you just get a really simple little roller, preferably amber. I know Nature Sunshine only has clear ones right now. We sell these amber ones at the store. If you need a link to find some, if you want to get an amber or a blue one is better. But in this roller that we're going to make, we're going to do a digestion blend. And it's really helpful if you put it on your stomach and over your liver area on the right upper side about 15 minutes before eating, because peppermint, really good for digestion and food cravings, and we're going to mix some lavender in there, and lavender can actually help control the output of insulin by the liver. So helping with healthy blood sugar levels, you're going to digest better, your head's going to be clearer after eating. Sometimes you eat and you're all foggy afterwards and just lethargic. That's because digestion is one of the hardest jobs that our body has. So we need, to rest afterwards. So this can really help with that. Another favorite way to use peppermint oil, because of its cooling effect, is I have an after sun spray that I make, and again, I normally use lavender oil with that. So I'm taking this enzyme spray, so I'll put it in an amber misting bottle, about 2 ounces, whatever size that you have. But in 2 ounces, I would apply 20 to 40 drops of lavender. Really just depends on how strong you want it. And then 10 to 20 drops of peppermint. So the lavender and the enzyme spray, lavender is very healing for burns, and so it's going to be soothing. The enzyme spray is very helpful for healing those burns. And so I'm repairing the damage done to my skin with those two. But then if it was an especially painful sunburn, the peppermint's going to add some cooling properties to that. So just another benefit to it. It's still flu season right now, so if anyone has a fever, you might put a couple of drops of peppermint just in a basin of cold water, and then you can put a cloth in there, wring it out, use that as a compress for the forehead. As a bonus, tomorrow evening I will post a link to this recipe for homemade peppermint patties that will utilize your peppermint essential oil And then I think there's 2 or 3 other ingredients is all that's in those. Peppermint oil has been used for over 3,500 years. The Egyptians used it to break up mucus, to help with headaches, and for nausea as well. So this is herbal techniques that have been used for thousands of years. This is nothing new. Might be new information for you, but it's been passed down in generations for a long time. So here's a list of some other things you might use peppermint oil for. Apathy. That was kind of an interesting one to me, but you know, if you're apathetic, you're kind of lethargic, you're kind of blah, and peppermint just wakes things up. You could use it for arthritis, asthma, bad breath. Again, that was just 1 drop in the mouth to freshen the breath. Back pain, mix it with a carrier oil, get someone to massage it in for you. If it's your lower back, you can probably reach around and do it yourself. Bowel disorders, which I had also on here, irritable colon. So again, you're just going to be massaging it over the stomach for anything going on in that area. For bronchitis, all of that sinus congestion, opening things up. Again, you can do the inhalation just in your hands, or you might diffuse it in the room. Also putting it on the soles of your feet. So it's kind of funny that putting something on the soles of your feet is one of the best ways to get it all throughout your system. So for colds and flu, if you have coughs, any cramps, again, we talked about how lavender was beneficial for menstrual cramps. So this digest roller that we're mixing together with lavender and peppermint, that could be really good for menstrual cramps as well, just adding another relaxing sensation to it. If you're feeling faint, if you have fatigue, again, waking you up. I no longer feel like I need to yawn until I talk about it, of course. Flatulence, we have any gas or bloating. Mental exhaustion. You know, there are times when we should rest, but we don't have the opportunity. We have to just keep going, get to the end of our day. Peppermint might really help you there. If you've got a migraine, that one's going to help most with the vasoconstrictive migraines. Those are ones where you feel like your head's in a vice, and it's really because the veins are constricting. They're getting smaller. We need to loosen those up. So putting that on your temples, the back of your neck, anything just to help loosen that up there. If we have a mouth or a gum infection, it could be a good one to swish around, put a drop on your toothpaste when you're brushing your teeth. It's where most of these oils are antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal. Lots of good immunity benefits to them. Muscle pain, again, getting that massage. Nausea. We have poor circulation, so think of that cooling effect that it's doing. That's going to bring circulation to the area. Anytime that we put something cold on our skin, it makes the body want to work harder to get blood there to warm it back up. Sinus congestion, it's a good one for shock. We already talked about sunburn. If you have tired feet, or even vertigo, so thinking about that nausea and dizziness with motion sickness might be helpful for vertigo as well. So generally, if you're using it for emotional reasons, then just diffusing it is really great. Or inhalation therapy. If you're using it for digestive support, you're going to apply it over to the stomach, and if you have a burn someplace, you'll apply it where that is. So a couple of cautions with peppermint. Who should not use peppermint? So if you've had an organ transplant, peppermint is actually stimulating. We talked about how all of these stimulating properties that it has, waking you up, making you alert. So it's stimulating to your immune system, which makes it great for colds and flu. But if you've had an organ transplant, please don't use peppermint, because it's going to stimulate your immune system and make it more likely to reject that organ. Don't use peppermint within 2 hours of taking an antacid. I don't know the science behind that one, but let me tell you, if you are addicted to Tums or you're taking a long-term antacid, you know, that might be a little purple pill, something like that, those are so hard on your digestive system. They've actually are being linked now to dementia. So I would really recommend using peppermint oil and food enzymes and just eliminate those acids altogether. And then also, just if you are on a prescription, you want to use a little bit of caution when using peppermint oil, because what it can do is it can reduces the rate at which the prescription breaks down in your bloodstream, which allows more of it to accumulate there. So it might give it a stronger effect. So you'll just want to watch that, watch what prescription you're taking. You might consult with your doctor on that one. And then also, if you're doing a bath with essential oils, you want to do a detox power bath. Go light on the peppermint because it does have that cooling effect, and most of the time with a detox bath you want to be warm and feel warm and sweat, so we don't want you to cool down too much. Alright, so let me show you how to make this roller bottle. I've got peppermint and lavender. We have that little amber roller that I showed you before, so if we unscrew the lid, so we want our roller bottles to have a metal ball as the roller part. So we should just be able to pull that top out, and then we've got that clear and open. I've got my favorite carrier oil from my favorite company, which is so good that you could just about eat it. Now, if you have a small funnel, I do have a small funnel, but since I'm not over a sink, I'm over my computer, I don't have an easy way to do this. I'm going to do this as neatly as possible. So you can get little pipettes or just droppers as well. And I'm just going to fill this up most of the way. We're about halfway. Since I am adding 2 different oils to it, I'm going to leave a little bit more room than if I was just adding the one. That should be good. I can add some more in a minute if that's not quite enough. So I have it just to there. So I've got some room to add the oils to it. So for this one, I'm going to do about 15 drops of each. Sometimes the oils can come out pretty quickly. So I'm just going to guesstimate. It doesn't have to be exact. And then, so they have a reducer top for the oils. So if you look straight in, there'll be a little hole. That's an air hole. And when you look through the bottom, I don't know if I can get this close enough for you to see that there's a little plastic part that sticks down inside, and that is the air hole. So as we want that to be at the top for it to come out. The carrier oil that I used is actually called carrier oil. It comes from Nature's Sunshine. So really good. You could drink this oil if you wanted to. It's 100% pure oils of sunflower seed, safflower seed, grape seed, olive fruit, and then a little natural vitamin E as a preservative. So it's shelf stable for a while, but then you could also keep it in your refrigerator to make it last a little longer. So I'm going to do about 15 drops of lavender in here. Alright, so it came out a little fast. We're going to call that about 15. And we're gonna do 15 drops of peppermint in here. This one's probably gonna come out as well. Peppermint and lavender are not that thick of oils. They have a similar consistency to water. Doesn't mean they mix with water. They're not water. They're just thin like that and will come out fast. So I had plenty of room left in the top. I want to fill this up. So I filled it just up to the neck so that there's a little bit of room for mixing. So then the little piece with the roller, we're gonna shove that back in there. Put the cap on. Gonna shake that up a little bit. And then of course, make sure that you label it. So this one I'm going to say is peppermint, lavender. And just so I know what I'm using it for, I might write on here digest blend. So I did make up one of these for myself, and I carry it around in my purse so that when I'm out and about and at work, I can try to remember to put it on before I eat. Doesn't always happen, but I'm trying to build that habit. So then I'm just gonna tape my label on here, and I know the words are backwards, but it says peppermint lavender digest blend. So I will be giving this away. I will ship this out to the winner. So if you've watched this video, drop me a comment, whatever you'd like. It can be as something simple like, I like peppermint oil. Yeah, and I'll send that out to our winner. Classes, I'm trying to be consistent with classes, do them on Tuesdays and Thursday evenings at 5:30 p.m. So if you're watching live, I'm going to try to do a giveaway, but it'll be valid for a couple of days. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that you are starting to feel confident about essential oils, know how to use them, want to start using them. And again, if you appreciate these videos, then please purchase through my affiliate links. That will always be in the description of the video. This helps support me and lets me keep doing this. It takes 2 to 3 times longer to put together the information for a class than it does to present it. So a lot of time goes into it, and I hope you all enjoy it. Have a lovely